Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Halo Talk. I'm your host, Angels Vlogs. That's Angels Vlogs on Instagram and YouTube. And also, actually, I have Twitter. I have a Twitter. It's called Angels Vlogs. You can check it out if you have a Twitter. I don't really go on it that much, though, because screw Twitter. Screw Twitter. Who really cares about that? So last time I did a podcast was last Sunday, and today's Tuesday, so it's been a little bit over a week of Angels baseball. And it's been sort of a weird mixed performance kind of week. So let's get straight into it. I feel like I should have like a cool intro. That's what like most podcasts do, but I don't really have too much of a budget, or kind of too lazy to do that. Anyway, let's just get straight into this week of Halos baseball. Let's start with the first two games versus the Dodgers, where we ended up winning both games at Dodger Stadium, and we swept the Dodgers in the Freeway Series 4-0. This is only the third time the Dodgers have been swept this year, which makes it really impressive for the Angels to do so. The Angels won 2 games to start off the week. I believe it was Tuesday and Wednesday. I believe there was 3 main reasons we won these 2 games. And I haven't done podcasts in a while, sorry. There's 3 main reasons we won. And that's solid starting pitching, lockdown relief, and Cole Calhoun. Those 3 reasons. So starting pitching, Felix Pena pitched first game, then Jaime Barria pitched the second game. They both had great starts in these 2 games. Felix Pena only went 3 2/3, but he held the Dodgers to 1 run. In the second game, Jaime Barria went 5 innings of 1-run ball, which is pretty impressive. I need to say something. Jaime Barria is a good pitcher, and at least he's a solid pitcher. His ERA is really inflated this year. Now, I've seen a lot of comments, on like social media and stuff, talking about how bad of a pitcher he is or whatever. He's only had 2 really bad starts, and that's versus the Royals and Mariners. Other than those 2 starts, his ERA is around 3, like it was last year. For some reason, he blew up against the Royals and Mariners. But other than that, he's been solid this year. People tend to think he sucks just because they look at his ERA and see that it's high. But he hasn't had much starts yet. And he's only pretty much pitched 2 bad games. It just happened that the 2 games he really blew up, and they just scored a ton of runs off him. That's why you can't completely look at ERA. It doesn't tell like the whole story. Same with Griffin Canning. He has a high ERA right now, but he has actually been really solid, and he's having a good rookie season. But let's get back into the Angels-Dodgers series. Jaime Barria, I'm getting lost here. Jaime Barria, he's great, right? And we definitely need him in the pitching staff because we literally don't have enough starting pitchers. We're going to get into that later, though. Great starting pitching from Jaime Barria and Felix Pena against one of the best lineups in baseball, if not the best. And then let's go to reason number 2. They won these 2 games, lockdown relief. As you guys know, the relief pitching this year has been a great surprise for us, a good surprise, and they were great against the Dodgers. The first game of the series, we saw great performances from Taylor Cole, Ty Buttrey, and Cam Bedrosian. Taylor Cole pitched a scoreless first inning as an opener for Felix Pena in Game 1. Ty Buttrey came in with bases loaded, 1 out, and escaped the jam with no runs allowed. Then Cam Bedrosian came in the 8th and pitched a scoreless frame. This was huge. This was pretty much the main reason the Angels won these 2 games, because the relief was just great. In the second game of the series, Taylor Cole and Cam Bedrosian both pitched scoreless innings again, and Hansel Robles came in with a run lead and closed the door. So great relief pitching, other than Justin Anderson and Luis Garcia. Anderson allowed 2 runs and left the game with a bases-loaded jam, which eventually Ty Buttrey bailed him out. And then Luis Garcia allowed a run the inning he came in, which isn't terrible. And then the third reason the Angels won these 2 games was Cole Calhoun. Period. Just Cole Calhoun. Without him, the Angels lose both games. Cole Calhoun went off these two games. He went... Shit, I'm lost. Okay, in Game 1, he went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, a double, and a home run. Not to mention, in Game 1, he threw out Cody Bellinger at home to end the game. What an amazing ending, where the Angels were up by 2 in the 9th. Robles came in and allowed a few hits and a run. And then when Kike Hernandez got a single, Calhoun throws Bellinger out trying to score. And that was pretty amazing. What was also amazing was Mike Trout throwing out someone at home also in the same game. Trout, I can't just say Cole Calhoun was the only player in the offense that did really good, because Trout in this game, he hit a monster 454-foot home run, and he himself threw a runner out at home, which was the more impressive throw because this was the harder play to make. He made a completely perfect throw, and it was a perfect strike to throw the runner out. If you guys haven't seen this play, you should look it up and watch it. That was just an unreal play. And it took literally a perfect throw to get this guy out. Trout just gave him a perfect throw, and he was barely out. I'm not sure. I don't remember who was running home on this play, but I do remember, of course, that Bellinger was running home for the tying run where Cole threw him out. But yeah, Trout and Cole both threw runners out. And Trout's throw, actually, guys, that was 98 miles per hour. A 98 miles per hour throw from Mike Trout. That kind of shows up the people that don't think Trout is a 5-tool player. Some people, for some reason, don't think he's a 5-tool player because he doesn't have an arm. But he threw a 98 mile per hour pitch, or throw, not a pitch, but he threw a 98 mile per hour throw there to home. So it's safe to say that he's definitely a 5-tool player. But anyway, Cole had an unbelievable performance in Game 1 and also Game 2. In Game 2, he went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, and another home run in Game 2. It's just something with him in Dodger Stadium. What was that? Weird voice crack. He has an over 800 slugging at Dodger Stadium. Every time the Angels go to Dodger Stadium, he does insane. And he was pretty much the difference maker in both games. Angels won by 2 runs in Game 1, and then they won by 1 run in Game 2. So huge by Cole Calhoun. And the Angels took both games at Dodger Stadium. So after a couple exciting games at Dodger Stadium, this is where it gets weird. The Angels go to play the Orioles, which they lose 3 out of 4. Let's get into this right now. Game 1, Angels versus Orioles. This was just such an insane game. It was just a crazy game to watch. So the Angels get the first run of the game after Mike Trout double and an Upton sac fly. But then the next 5 innings, the offense falls asleep. The offense to this game was just not good at all. Was not that good. And actually, pretty much everything wasn't good this game. The offense, pitching, and defense was all pretty bad. The Angels had 3 errors on the night, and pitchers were really just kind of mediocre. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, Jose Suarez allowed 2 runs, so the Orioles take the lead in the 7th, where in the 7th, Calhoun hits a bases-clearing double. Then in top of the 8th, Buttrey has a really bad inning, where the Orioles crushed off him, scoring 2 runs, and Buttrey was just giving them pitches to hit because they were hitting liner after liner, and they were hitting in the gap. He was actually lucky to get away with 2 runs. So the Orioles scored 2 runs. Just a bad game for Buttrey, but I'm not really concerned about that. Anyway, Robles comes in during a 4-4 game in the 9th and gives up a home run to Trey Mancini. Like I said, pitchers just didn't have it today. Through 9 innings, they allowed 5 runs. And giving up 5 runs to the Orioles is just not that good. Anyway, down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th, Brian Goodwin hits a game-tying home run. This guy is just so good this year. He definitely deserves more at-bats because he's one of the best hitters on the team. And yeah, tied 5-5 into extra innings. 5 scoreless innings go by. Cam Bedrosian, Taylor Cole both pitched scoreless innings, and Adalberto Mejia goes 3 scoreless innings. But for some reason, he got DFA'd after this game. The Angels have a weird tendency of DFAing pitchers after they do good. But yeah, he got DFA'd after he went 3 scoreless. But the 3 scoreless innings were really good. He was picked up by the Twins. The Twins DFA'd him, and then the Angels picked him up. He just hasn't been having a good season, but he definitely had it this game. But it sucks that the Angels DFA'd him. And then after the 14th inning, Griffin Canning comes in the 15th inning to pitch. And he was supposed to pitch the next game. So he comes in as kind of like a mini start. And he gets to 2 outs with a runner at third. And then from there he allows a few hits. And the Orioles end the inning with 3 runs scored. Canning did not have a good... He didn't pitch well, but a lot of people, which was a weird surprise, so many people were mad at Griffin Canning for not pitching good this game when he came in the 15th inning. If you're not expecting to start the pitch a game, and you're not preparing the starting pitcher, it's definitely not his fault. He's not used to coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning as a reliever. And, it's just not your fault if you give up runs here. The Angels obviously should have scored off of bad Orioles relievers where the relievers shut the Angels down for 5 innings, which is just really crazy because the Orioles bullpen was just falling apart. Going into the bottom of the 15th inning, the